So here's the question. As a real estate investor, how do you build a business that you're excited to show up to every day while you constantly grow your stream of passive income that you and your family can depend on for life without having to leave your computer or even live somewhere that houses are affordable? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. Welcome to the Virtual Real Estate Investing Podcast with your host, Brian Elwood.
What's up? This is Brian Elwood. Welcome back to the Virtual Real Estate Investing Podcast. I really appreciate you guys listening to the show. And if you like it or not, go to iTunes, leave me a review. I'd really appreciate it. Also, you can head over to the Virtual Real Estate Investing Facebook page, give me any feedback on the show, ask any questions that you want me to cover on future episodes. I'd be glad to do that. So, cool. I hope everyone's doing well today. I am personally really excited. For those of you who know who Russell Brunson is, I've talked about him a few times on past episodes. I just signed up for his FAT event. FHAT stands for Funnel Hackathon. It's basically this 8-week online intensive course followed by 3 days live with him and his team, where you build out your entire business. And he's sort of the marketing and sales king right now, in my mind at least. I think he's going to go down as one of the legends in marketing and sales. And so I'm really excited to go through all this material. I'll probably be sharing a lot of cool stuff that I'm implementing in my businesses as soon as I learn it so that I can help you guys out. Anyways, so this is a cool little story I just wanted to share with you guys. There was a team member that worked for us last year who was super cool guy, incredibly talented, really artsy. He has a business, paulcandraw.com. You should check out his artwork. He's amazingly talented. And he was a good employee when he worked for us. He was really smart. He added a lot of value. But you could also tell that he wasn't really in the right place. He was meant to be in life. Like, he was meant to be doing something else for his career, particularly drawing, artwork, etc. And we talked about that, several times. And eventually he left to go kind of pursue his art career. But there was one video that I shared with him by Dan Sullivan that was pretty much the tipping point for him. And he talks about that a lot now. He said this video changed everything for him, and it really changed everything for me too. And so I want to share it with you because this video, I just posted it to the personal development channel on our Slack thread. Slack is the way that we communicate internally with the team. And that was it. He was pretty much done. He was ready, to go pursue his art career. And about 30 days later, he quit and went and did that. So let me just kind of go over this concept with you, because once you grasp this and learn to accept that it's part of being an entrepreneur and growing and succeeding, you will be able to grow so much faster, and you'll be able to never plateau and always be endlessly kind of accomplishing new things. So the concept is called the 4 C's, like the letter C. And the first C stands for commitment. Anytime you're going to start anything new, you have to commit to it, right? You have to say, all right, this is what I'm going to do. You have to choose a path that you're going to go down and commit to it. And the problem, I want to tell you what the second C is, but I need to save that one. The problem is that we don't often have what is the fourth C at this stage. and that's confidence. So you make a commitment, I'm going to do something, but you don't have any confidence. So you're basically kind of paralyzed. I'm not qualified. I'm not good enough. I might fail. I don't know how to do this. And so we kind of stay, in a mode of inaction. We never commit. We don't even commit to anything because there's no confidence. And what's the other problem? Another problem is that we don't have the third C in the process, which is competence. In other words, the ability to do the thing. There's no competence there because we've never done it. So we don't have the skills. So this is all seeming like we're headed for failure, right? You can't commit because you don't even have the skills or the competence or confidence to do the thing. And that's actually the reality of how it is. You have to have the second C in order to get to the third and fourth C's, which are competence and confidence. And that second C stands for courage. You have to go through a period of courage in order to get to where you are competent and confident in what you're doing. There's no way around that. And feeling confident and feeling competent feels really good, doesn't it? Anytime you're really good at something and you've got confidence, that's a great feeling. But you know what feels really bad? Courage. Courage is a word that, is often misunderstood. Courage really feels like shit. Courage really feels about as awesome as when you're about to walk in front of a room of people and speak to them. At least for most of us. I mean, some people are good at public speaking, but most people aren't. That anxiety that comes up when you have to do something like that. You can feel it in your whole body. It feels terrible. You're nervous. Your stomach is tight. Your heart is beating too fast. It's not good, right? Well, that's essentially what it feels like to be courageous, to have courage. And if you're not feeling that way, then you're avoiding doing what you have to do to get to competence and confidence in whatever you're trying to do. You have to put yourself on the line and take risk. So let me go through the 4 C's one more time. Step 1, you make a commitment to doing something new. Step 2, you go through a period of courage. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have any confidence. Only thing you have is your strength, your courage. And you have to go through that period. It doesn't go forever, okay? It ends relatively quickly. It could only take a few weeks or a few months or a year. It all depends on what you're trying to do and how fast you can get there. But you have to go through that phase. And then you get to competence. I know how to do this. And then that gives you confidence. You're getting results doing what you're doing. So here's the thing. A lot of you may have already gone through this cycle multiple times. And it doesn't have to do with business. It could do with finding the love of your life or whatever, moving somewhere new. There's always going to be that scary period that you have to go through. And if you want to continue to grow as a human being, if you want to continue to develop, you have to actually keep going back to square one and keep redoing this cycle for everything new. So in other words, if you want to keep taking your business to the next level, it's going to involve a new commitment, a new period of courage, followed by competence and confidence. If you're comfortable all the time, if you think you can just put everything on autopilot and kick back or whatever, you're wrong. You could do that and stay where you are, and maybe you have 200 multifamily units and you make enough cash flow and you just want to play guitar on the beach or whatever. Fine, you can do that. That'll work. You'll make that amount of money for the rest of your life, and if that's what you want, that's cool. But most people listening, they want to continue to grow as a person. They want to continue to accomplish new things and be creative and use their skills and strengths until the day that they die. And the truth about that is that you're always going to have to go through those scary periods if you want to take leaps in your personal development, which is the same thing as a leap in your success. So the more you can get comfortable with that second C, courage, the more likely you are to continue to grow as a person. In fact, as soon as it comes up, you need to embrace it. I remember the first handful of podcast interviews I did where I was on other people's podcasts. I was nervous as hell. And I was sitting there at my desk, headphones on already, got my answers all printed out like a geek. And I just had that feeling in my body, just nervousness, I had way too much energy. I couldn't sit still. Didn't feel good. And I remember telling myself, this is courage, Ryan. This is what it feels like. This is the second C. This is what you have to go through if you want to get good at being on podcasts, being interviewed, telling your story, helping people, adding value, all the things you want to get good at. You have to feel like this. And that helped me a lot. And that feeling has definitely diminished as I've gotten better at doing that kind of thing. Still not great, but it gets easier every time. Hope that helps, guys. Have an awesome rest of your day. Remember the 4 C's. Write them on a Post-it note or something. Stick it on your wall. Commitment, courage, capabilities, confidence. And once again, thank you to the man, Dan Sullivan, for teaching me that. See you on the next one. Later.
Want more? Get your free copy of Brian's book that is changing real estate businesses everywhere. Just go to www.fireyourself.net. Also, register for your free virtual real estate investing online masterclass at virtualinvestingclass.com.